drops, walkies. Come on, come on, come on. Good girl, come on. I hear of problem dogs, terrible dogs that are causing terrific worry in the home and elsewhere, and many of these dogs get put down. So I've decided to do this program on problem dogs and see if not only can we help the owners to cure these troubles, but it will help, I hope, lots of other people with similar troubles. So now I'm going to see the first dog in its own home. Hello, I'm Barbara Woodhouse.
Hello, please come in.
Oh, thank you.
My dog Lan, he's 6 years old now, and every time the washing machine clicks over to the spin cycle, he just goes berserk. He barks and he runs at the machine and he puts his paws in the porthole and he just acts sillily.
And you can't stop him?
No, not at all.
Well, of course, this is really the natural instinct of a border collie, which he is, of course, chasing moving things. They chase anything.
Yeah.
And, of course, he shouldn't, as a border collie, be barking in any case. If he just sort of sat there and got excited, it would be very different. But this barking is terrible.
Yeah.
Well, now, dogs don't bark very easily when they're lying down. So the first thing I'm going to teach him is to drop on command. And so that you'll learn how to do it, because you've got to practice this a lot. He's got to drop on command instantaneously, and then he won't be much of a trouble. And I don't know what I'm going to do, as you know, I haven't met him before. So the first thing I do is say, what's his name?
Lan.
Lan, down. Right down. Come on, down. Good boy. Then he's got to learn the word stay. And under no circumstances must he move. I've got his choke chain on, do you see? But it's clipped back at the moment because I'm not going to use it as a choke chain. I want to see in teaching you to put him into the down that he's in no way choked. Would you come this side? I'll step over him. Now, hold the lead in this hand. That's right, over 2 fingers. Now, come on, Len. Now, if you would give him the down signal, which is that, and if he doesn't, just lift one foot and pull him towards you like that. You see, he'll go down. I can't do it from here because I'm the wrong side. So give him a thunderous... Sit down. Sit. Now, down, Lan. Down. A bit sharper than that. Down. Down. Now lift that far leg and push this shoulder. There you are. You did that beautifully. Tickle his chest to praise him. Now a thunderous command. Stay. Stay. Right, now change places with me. Now stay. No. Leave. Leave. No. 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 Down. Stay. Leave. Leave. And then the praise. Oh, what a good boy. Very drawn out. Will you say it?
What a good boy.
That's lovely. And give him a lovely, gentle stroke. What a good boy. Yes, that's lovely. You're getting the voice right. Now, of course, the thing is, this time, as the swish comes on, I'm going to try and give him the command leave on a completely loose lead. You see, I gave him a jerk last time. So now I'm going to try and we're going to tell him to stay. And when the thing goes on... No. No. Leave. Down. Leave. Over. Stay. Stay. Nope. Down. Stay. But you see how I'm calming him with my fingers? Yes. I'm calming him with my voice. But I'm also giving an extremely firm voice. It means now or never. I'm not going to have this dog go after that washing machine. It didn't take me long to teach the dog to ignore the click for the spin on the washing machine. It did take a little longer for the owner to learn the commands in the right tone of voice to make the dog behave. Would you like to take over? Give him the leave and the stay, and you take over. Give him the stay.
Stay.
Open fingers for the stay. Stay.
Stay.
Stay.
No. Stay.
That's right. Now when it's finished, you want to get down on your knees and say, what a good boy. Both hands on his head, what a good boy. I can't hear you. What a good, what a good. Are you beginning to feel confident about it?
Yes, a little bit.
No, you must be very bit. You must never say little bit. You must say he is good and I can do it. Do you see? Because it's all your personality that comes over on him. Well, Mrs. Fielding, you've got trouble with your dog, a problem or so. What is the matter?
Yes, I certainly have. She chases bicycles, and it worries me very much because she chases after the wheels, barking, and frightens the children on the bikes. And I'm worried that one of them's going to have a nasty accident.
Not only children, I imagine. Any bicycle, is it?
No, any bicycle.
Yes. And you haven't been able to stop it at all?
No, I haven't. I've tried very hard.
No, I suppose you can't even let her off the lead now safely, can you?
No, no.
Oh, well, I'm sure I can help you cure this. A jug of cold water thrown over the dog is usually the solution in cases like this. The water gives the dog an unexpected shock. You can see that after only 2 soakings, the dog keeps well away from the cyclists. Mrs. Fielding, it's 2 months since we met. How is your dog now behaving?
She's behaving excellently. She doesn't chase bikes any longer. She's more inclined to hide under the park benches or in the bushes. And I'm extremely pleased that she isn't doing it any longer. And thank you very much.
Well, if she ever does it again, you know it is good dousing with water.
Yes, definitely.
afternoon, I'm Barbara Woodhouse. Hello, darling. Hello, sweetie. You're beautiful, aren't you?
That's true.
Yes. Which way shall we go?
Right.
Right, thank you.
Sit down.
Yes, thank you. Now, my goodness, what's all this?
This is what my dog has done.
Simply dreadful. Look at it.
First of all, he started on the net curtains.
Yes.
Now I haven't got any because I
Just
give up
tears them
putting
up.
the ampy put.
Yes.
I come in from work one day and he had my big brown curtains down and they were up the stairs.
Goodness.
I had pampas grass and ferns in a big vase in the corner here. I come in one day and
That was all gone too.
It was just devastated. The whole of the downstairs.
Looks as that chair's not so good either.
Well, this is the latest. I come in last week from work and he'd had a chew and the legs and the back. He's had all the stuffing out inside. The corners and that one and the one you're sitting on.
Does he eat that stuffing?
No, he just leaves it all over the
He leaves it
floor.
all over the floor. Does he do it when you're there or only when you're out?
Oh, mainly when we're out.
Yes. Well, you see, Alsatians get very attached to their owners and they fret terribly when you go out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's tearing things up like you and I might go and eat a loaf of bread or light up a cigarette if we were upset. And he just tears things up.
I see.
So we've got to find out, first of all, whether it's a food problem. What are you actually feeding him on? How much?
Well, in all, I buy £10 of meat a week and £5 of broken biscuit
Well, it's too much.
and cereal as well, maize cereal.
Oh,
he
maize?
has. Yes.
Oh dear me no. Maize is a very high protein and I suggest that this dog is hyperactive and leaning towards schizophrenia, which is a split mind, so that he doesn't really know what he's up to when he's tearing everything up, do you see? And I think you should lower his diet and change his protein. I will change now to coaly fish because I think it might be schizophrenia coming caused by too much meat protein, an allergy to meat protein, and fish is a different protein. Then I would not give him any maize. I mean, that's far too high a protein. You're all right on your biscuits. Give him half a pound of biscuits or perhaps up to 3/4 if he's hungry. I mean, we don't want him hungry, but we don't want to give him extra protein in the meat, you see. So change to fish temporarily, 3/4 of a pound a day. And are you giving him any additives with his food, providing vitamins, trace elements and
He's
minerals?
having vitamin D.
Is that all?
Yes.
Well, I think you should give him a complete vitamin supplement and see if it helps him, because he's rather on the lean side, isn't it, in spite of all the food that you're
Yes.
giving him.
Yes.
And he may be searching for something that he needs. I'll give you an example. Very often people have wallpaper. You haven't, because this is a newish house, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Well, they'll strip wallpaper off, trying to get the trace elements and minerals. It isn't vitamins very often, because people very often give enough vitamins, but they forget the minerals that dogs need, trace elements and minerals. So I would suggest that. How much exercise do you actually give him?
He's walked in the morning and in the evening, and when I come in from work he has the run of the garden.
He can't have the run of the garden when you're out,
No, I don't.
because he
shut him
tears
out
your
there.
garden up.
Oh yes, he'll eat all my new plants I've put in.
Well, I think the good idea would be to put him on one of these retractable leads. They have a post in the garden, and you put a lead on him, and it goes out to 16 feet. But every time he moves in a different direction, it comes back into its case, so he can't get hung up at all.
Yeah.
And that means you could leave him out, and he'd exercise himself much
Yes.
more.
Would it be safe to leave him on that sort of thing during the day if nobody was here?
Absolutely. He cannot hurt himself on that. He can't get caught up because the lead retracts. It's not like a rope. If you put him on a rope, he'd be caught up.
Yeah.
The other thing is you've got to train him to, if he does this, I would show this to him, or something else. The chair that is sitting on is absolutely dreadful, isn't it? He's
Yes.
torn it to smithereens. I would take him up to it, show it to him, take a bit of the stuffing out, which he's already eaten, offer it to him, and whip your hand in front of his nose very sharply. Don't touch his nose. Whip it and say, leave, and then offer it to him again. He'll probably try and take it again. Whip it again in front. Teach him that that is naughty. He must not do it. I mean, it's no good just coming in and saying, oh, goodness, you naughty boy, because the dog, the tone of your voice will send the dog away anyway.
Yes.
But he's not quite sure what he's done. You've got to show him what you've done. Look at that. Whip your hand in front of his nose. Naughty boy. Now look at that. You see, you've got to take him and show him. These Alsatians are so clever. Does he tear up carpets or
Yes,
scrape with his feet?
Oh yes, he turns all the carpets up when I'm out again, scratches the walls
and I just come in usually to devastation every day.
Well, have you ever thought of having an indoor kennel so that when you go out and it's raining and you can't put him outside, you shut him in an indoor kennel?
No, I didn't know
Well,
there
they're
was
excellent. We'll show you one because I think that is the answer temporarily until he gets over this state. Well, Mrs. Davies, it's now 4 months since I met you. Tell me what has been happening.
Well, we took your advice and changed the food that the dog was having. He was having high protein cereal and maize cereal it was, and meat, and we put him on fish and tripe now, which has improved tremendously. He's a different dog.
And is he in good condition?
Oh yes, tip-top condition. His coat and his health is lovely. He's a good dog now.
And what about the indoor kennel, Mrs. Davies?
Well, I'm very pleased with the indoor kennel. Max classes it is his own bed. If you gave him a biscuit or a bone, he goes straight into it, just as his ordinary basket. I'm very pleased with it.
Were you surprised that a change of diet could make such a vast difference to a dog's character and behaviour?
Oh yes, yes, I'm very surprised. I didn't really think it would work, but it really has worked.
Well, goodbye, Mrs. Davies.
Thank you very much, Barbara.
Any problems with the parrot?
I hope not.
Well, she seems absolutely terrified of all traffic and even quite a lot of people. She won't walk along the road, any road at all, or cross any road where there's more than a couple of dozen people.
This dog is nervous. We've got to get it over it. She's got to learn that the word walkies means a happy walk. You're not going to get that in 10 seconds. So what I want you to do is just walk ahead. We'll go down the street and back, and then as you'll come further back to me and further back until I hand the lead to you.
Fine, okay.
Do you see? Keep calling her. Now,
Misha,
come on. Call her. Misha. The solution in a case like this is for someone else to take the dog.
Come on,
and for the owner to go some distance away and call it.
now go across the road.
The dog naturally goes to its owner and so overcomes some of its fears and inhibitions. See, this is how you have to train her.
What did you do?
Well, I did nothing actually. All I did was let her on a loose lead, you see,
Yes.
and then you call her and you want a friend to do this with her.
Oh, I
You
see.
see? Well then, in this case, I used a ploy which I have never used before. I happened to find a piece of plastic bag on the pavement, which I shook behind the dog if it ever looked like stopping. See, you had much too tight a lead. You weren't giving her firm enough jerks.
Yeah, well, she's so much better. I can't believe it, because she's never walked past a car moving in the
No,
road
well, she's
before.
stubborn. I mean, she's just playing you up. It's nothing else. Well, now you'll have to try by yourself. I picked this up in the road when I was following you, and when she stopped, I rattled it behind her, do you see? So, if she stops with you, I shall come up and do that. Do you see? Are you ready?
Come on, Misha.
Walkies.
What do you think of that?
Oh, it's speechless.
No, but it's all right, isn't it?
Yes,
I'll give you that as a present. Just rattle
That's a souvenir.
Well, just rattle that and go behind her and give her a rattle if she stops.
Fine, thank you very much.
Clever girl. Praise her.
Oh, indeed, yes.
Clever girl.
Gather you've got problems.
We certainly have, yes.
What are they?
He's been urinating for the past 4 years on these chairs here, on the corner of this one and the corner of that one.
Oh.
And recently he's taken to doing it over there on the corner of the settee.
Well, now, the best thing to do is to have him neutered at once, because this is a sex problem, you see, and he will go on doing it until he is neutered, and after some months he will go back to squatting like a bitch, and he won't want to do it, because he's simply lifting his leg to tell his pack where he's been. Well, there isn't a pack, and we certainly don't appreciate this. The next thing to do is to confine him away from these chairs. We've got to change his ideas entirely, that he must only relieve himself outside in your yard, where you've got a nice yard. So the first thing to do after this, have him neutered first of all, then have an indoor kennel, and when he's in with you, he must be in his indoor kennel. He must not be allowed to be free with this furniture. After that, the next thing to do is to wash everywhere with this stuff, because ordinary detergent and disinfectant doesn't really take the smell of urine out. They make special things for neutralizing it. And once the smell has gone, he won't be likely to go back to the same spot again, which he will go on doing until you get all the furniture really washed properly. Does he do this anywhere else in the house?
Yes, he messes in the kitchen.
Oh, that's
by
terrible.
the table.
What do you do to
Kitchen
prevent
table.
that?
Well, we've put newspaper up for him to go on because, you know, it's all over the floor.
Yes.
But apart from that, we can't really stop it.
No.
We've just
Well,
tried the same as what we have here with white vinegar. And
yes, well, vinegar's
things
no
like
good.
that. It's no good.
Well, that's a good hint there. You can take that newspaper he's urinated onto and take it out into the yard and tie it with a bit of string round. You've got some sort of shrubs there, haven't
We
you?
have, yes.
Well, tie it there so that he knows that that's a place he'll be allowed to wet. You see, we don't want him, he gets guilty conscience possibly if he's scolded, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yes, he just runs under the chair.
You see, he knows he's done wrong, but nature
does.
tells him what to do, and he's just obeying nature rather than you.
Do you think he will change?
Oh yes, I think you can get it, especially if you're new to him. That is the first thing to do, because it's sex. He's oversexed.
And that won't make him lethargic?
Oh no, the main thing is to see that he doesn't get fat. Cut his food, he's not a big dog, to ½ pound meat a day and but not more than a handful of biscuits. If he gets at all fat, cut the biscuits.
Okay,
Just keep him on meat or fish, do you see?
Fine.
The main thing is you'll know it's worked when he goes back to squatting like a bitch, and then he won't have any problems. Well, it's 4 months since I was here giving you advice on how to stop your dog lifting its leg in every room. Have you carried out what I suggested?
Yes, we did. We had him castrated. We used the fluid on the furniture where he'd been urinating, and we kept him in the indoor kennel. The problem didn't stop for the first 3 weeks after the castration, but following round about a fortnight, the problem had completely cleared.
And now he's perfectly all right.
And he's perfectly all right, and he's a very happy dog.
He was a bit depressed when we started,
He was,
wasn't he? Being
because
scolded.
He was scolded all the time, and I don't really think he understood what it was for.
And what about his feeding?
He's had a lot more exercise. We've cut his food down, and he hasn't put on any weight, which is marvellous, and he's a much happier dog.
Well, seems a success story, doesn't it?
It certainly has been very successful.
I'm delighted.
The problem is this awful high-pitched continuous barking in the car, which drives us absolutely mad. When she came down from Scotland a few years ago, she's said to have done it the whole way down. And it really is quite impossible. It leaves you shaking when you get to the end of a journey, even quite a short journey. And I've practically given up. I mean, I thought I could train her, but I can't.
This, of course, is hysteria, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It
You
isn't
know,
fear, because she
It's
loves
not
getting
fear.
into
She
the
likes
car.
getting into the car. She
Yes.
wouldn't get into it. It's
Yes.
hysteria. And the main thing is, of course, that she is standing up, you see. And a dog always makes this noise when standing up. I mean, if you can get them lying down and going to sleep, of course, it stops. What I suggest I do is I have the dog, although I don't approve of dogs in front of cars. Come on, darling, in front of me. Now, I'm going to put this dog at the down, because this is vital.